Guess who's making history? Taylor Swift. All you Swifties out there, let me hear from you. Now I ran out of energy.
Yeah, well, you did.
For the rest of the day. She, this week, became the first living musical artist in history to have 5 albums simultaneously in the top 10.
Wow.
On the Billboard 200.
That's incredible.
She is the first living performer to do it. Do you know who did it other than Taylor?
Elvis's?
This doesn't say Elvis's, interestingly enough. It says Prince did it.
Ah.
Wow.
He's the only other artist to have 5 albums.
Did that happen at the time of his death?
That is correct. It was less than a month after he passed.
Okay.
That's why she's distinguished as being the only living artist to have done this. Prince was a dead artist when he did this. He was triple dead.
Don't say it like that.
They were still dragging him by the ankles from the elevator when he hit the 5 spots in the top 10. And they think that some of Taylor's uptick in sales was because of Black Friday related retail deals that were going on, so people were buying albums at that particular time. But her 13 albums have spent 66 weeks in the number 1 spot.
Man.
That's the second most for a solo artist, just one behind Elvis, who had stayed in the number 1 spot for 67 weeks. So one more week. So she does it another week, which she will. She's young. She's going to have another number 1 album, or one of these may get back to number 1. Who knows? So she'll tie Elvis and probably pass him. The Beatles hold the overall record at 132 weeks at number 1.
Whoa.
With an album. And I guess Taylor, for the first time, experienced her boyfriend losing, right? To a game she'd gone to.
I guess that game that she's been to, yeah.
So she thinks their season is over.
Yeah, she thinks they got eliminated from the playoffs last night.
You need to quit making fun of her perceived lack of football knowledge, which I think that y'all are wrong on.
We're pretty perceptive.
Just because she cheers after a play, y'all say, see, she thinks he just won the Super Bowl right then.
She loses her mind on an 8-yard gain.
She's enthusiastic. There's a lot of people in the stands that are enthusiastic.
She's clueless. Not enthusiastic. She's both clueless and enthusiastic.
Her boyfriend, I think, is a little more interested in her right now than he is in running routes and catching passes.
Oh, wouldn't you be?
Yeah, probably.
His
those
financial security is not tied to his career anymore. It's tied to her.
Yeah, he's going to take it in the shorts, too.
There is no way they're together in...
No way.
2 years.
No way.
She was with her last guy for like 7 years, I think.
Know,
like I said,
that guy was just a dude.
There's no way they're together in 2 years.
All right, how much you want to bet?
I'll bet you $20.
Yep. I'll bet you $20.
I'll take that bet. Sure.
She's going to get tired of his rock-headedness.
So, December of... They got to last till past December of 25.
No way.
All right, mark that down, Pete. Mark that down.
No way.
Because I won't remember it. So, yeah... I think this is marriage and kids material.
No.
Maybe kids.
No way.
Because there's no way he's responsible.
She'll go surrogate, won't she?
Probably.
So she can keep touring and empower herself.
Sure.
By outsourcing and forcing another woman to have your baby. That's female empowerment. But yeah, I think they'll be together. I think they'll have a couple kids together.
No, you don't.
I do. I think this is not. I can sense
You're
true
just stirring
love.
it up.
I'm not stirring it up.
Yes, you are.
I've never stirred it up in my life, sir.
That's all you do.
You do not look at them and see everlasting love.
do.
That's all you've been doing since you've been like 3 years old. Hey, how can I stir it up today? Here, watch this, Mom. This is how I walk now.
You thought that the couple that we saw on the street in New York City was married.
I did. Maybe I'm naive.
No, you didn't.
She was clearly a prostitute on her knees in front of the guy.
I thought that they were showing each other love, and they just only had a limited amount of time to get away from the kids, so that's why they had to go down to the street level.
That's his first question to me is who's watching their kids. Nobody. You do not think deep in your belly. You don't think Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have another week. Much less are going to have 2 kids together.
Am I the only one that believes in true love here? God, you guys are so cynical.
Vomit.
So cynical. This was meant to congratulate Taylor, okay, this segment. And I apologize, Tay-Tay, for you having to hear my compadres talk about your love life like that.
Does she think his 4 catches for 81 yards last night is a new NFL record?
Yes.
Not bad.
Yes, she does.
Look at that yards per catch average. Pretty dang good. She has this is such a double standard because any other game, you'll see a fan of that team. They're cheering on catches, too.
Not like her.
Not like her.
They don't show the people in the stands, and when they do, you see those Philly guys out there. Yeah!
Even the Cowboy fan with all the lights on his head, he doesn't cheer as hard as Taylor Swift does.
He sure as hell does, George. Damn sure does.
She's overcompensating because she knows the cameras are on her.
She has no idea the cameras are on her.
Oh, my God.
They didn't show her much last night.
See there?
You think that was a directive from the Chiefs, or?
There was 1P1 who sent me footage of all the other plays that they were that they did something good on, and showing her, and she just sat there like the Warner Brothers frog, didn't do anything.
If he wasn't involved,
right?
No, when the camera wasn't on her.
Oh,
this was someone just capturing on cell phone.
Oh, okay.
And then at the prearranged times where she knew that they were coming to her, she would go crazy.
Yeah.
So she's worked it out with the NFL, where she doesn't have to expend a lot of energy. She only has to do it on those 4 or 5 times they show her.
Travis Kelce's not expending much energy either.
Okay, why are you bagging on him? 4 catches for 80-some-odd yards is good.
Doesn't look like the dominant tight end we've seen before.
Well, he found something better than being a tight end right now.
Getting hit when you run over the middle. Yeah.
Yes. Wouldn't you sign up for that job?
I just said it's fine.
You love Taylor Swift.
I do.
So if your job was just professionally sleeping with her
and playing video games every night and then playing golf during the day, yes.
And then you have to listen to her stories.
Yeah, but if you don't think that as soon as he starts in on Madden and all of a sudden he hears, Travis! Oh, God.
Oh, jeez. What, honey?
She's going to talk about her last gig. And,
get in here. I just came in off the road. I need to tell you a whole bunch of stuff. All right, hey, can it wait? I just like 30 minutes. I'll be in there in about 30 minutes. That sound good? No! Jeez.
Yeah, he's going to take it in the shorts.
Watching Monty Python here.
And ran out of time for my other thing. So, okay. There you go.
Some other stuff.
Is that good? When do we do? I thought it's 29. No, 29 is when I go to birthdays.
He just asked
31.
when do we
okay.
do.
You got 2 minutes.
So,
when do we do?
When do we do?
We don't do.
We don't do. Okay.
We already did.
You remember it? We already did it. Do you remember the story of the killer whales that are sinking boats and everything?
Yeah.
Guess how they're battling the killer whales now?
Lasers?
Nope.
Drones.
Nope.
Submarines.
Nope.
Spaceships.
Loud music.
Loud music. Get more specific. What type of
metal?
loud?
Heavy metal.
Heavy metal is correct, Giorgio.
Okay.
Very good. So they're putting underwater speakers down there and blasting heavy metal, and that seems to be. And this is like when the orcas are heading towards the ships.
They'll just crank up.
They get there, they crank it up, and the orcas like
some Slipknot.
Yeah, and the orcas are like, "Geez, man, that's too heavy for me, and I'm a killer whale."
Garbage.
I mean, geez, Lamb of God. Good God, man. I just think it's too kick drum heavy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Paul, come over here and listen to this for a second. Tell me what you think of this.
Way too much distortion.
I mean, look at that. Man. You know what? I mean, it's not bad. It's just too busy. It's too busy, and what's with the devil voice?
Why do they do that effect on the vocals?
I don't mean to critique human music this bad, but, I mean, come on, guys. Y'all can do better than that. But, yeah, they leave when they hear the heavy metal.
Okay.
So,
would that sound really garbled underwater? I guess to whales it wouldn't.
Yeah, they listen.
Does heavy metal sound garbled to whales underwater?
Well, I think we look at it as it sounded just like that, but it doesn't sound like that underwater. It sounds like Kenny Albert underwater.
But that's how they do most of their listening to music.
Yeah, I guess they're used to hearing heavy metal like that.
Aren't orcas not whales or something?
Okay.
Let me Google
I don't know
that.
about the taxonomy of it, but aren't they more closely associated with dolphins?
Aren't orcas not whales or something? I'm Googling exactly that.
I thought that it was something weird there. I guess they are whales, but whales aren't fish. I know that's true, that whales aren't fish.
They are marine mammals, and they belong to the suborder of toothed whales.
See?
Known as Odontoceti.
It's a long name.
But are also the largest member of the dolphin family.
Thank you.
Very good.
But they're still whales.
Yeah.
They're toothed whales.
Whales.
Toothed whales. They got these toothed whales. They have the teeth. Maybe shine some light in the teeth. Maybe shine light in the teeth.
Now it's time for us to do. Thank you, Gordo. That's the corner. No, it's not. That's the O deck. So,
see, you suck too. You suck too.
6:32 on the ticket.
Hey, aren't we coming up on, Junior, what you say is your favorite time or the best time of year?
Yes, that past Saturday night at 7 p.m. is the best moment of the year. The first Saturday, 7 p.m. in December. Scientifically proven.
It's not scientifically proven.
It actually is.
You scientifically pulled it out of your ass and threw it on the air, and now you're doubling down on it.
Okay, now that hurts me on many levels because, number one, that acts like I put no thought into this, what I actually do. Because, as you know, I've ranked the months, I've ranked the days of the week, I've ranked the times of day.
Yep.
And
scientifically.
And it also shows you don't listen to me when I speak on this radio station, because I've had many, many articles that help back that up, that people are happiest on Saturdays at 7 p.m. in December, that they're most depressed in August and all of that. So it is scientifically backed up.
Yeah, but you don't have like articles or anything that you've brought up.
My least favorite thing in life is working with you.
Hey, welcome to the club.
Yeah, you two are starting a club, I think, behind my back. The club that doesn't like working with Gordo. Okay, on to some serious news, and this first story is very serious. There was a shooting in Dallas that killed 4 people, and one of them was a 1-year-old boy. Mm-hmm. This happened in southeast Dallas. It left 4 people dead, including the 1-year-old boy, and a teenage girl hospitalized. They received a call, Dallas Police Department did, around 4:20 p.m., 9700 block of Royce Drive, and when cops arrived at the scene, they found 5 people suffering from gunshot wounds, including the 1-year-old boy and the 15-year-old girl. The 3 adults died at the scene. The 2 kids taken to a hospital. The 1-year-old died. The 15-year-old girl is in stable condition. And they do not have a suspect in custody, but they believe the incident is not a threat to the public.
See, I heard that, and it's because I guess they think that person knows the victims. But if you would do that to people you know, wouldn't that person still be dangerous now on the run?
Yeah, I would think
would just randomly shoot someone
that's
too.
Kind of weird. This go down in volume or something?
No, I think you're okay.
Yeah, I would think a person that's on the run from 4 murders, and 1 attempted murder, and has a gun, may be a little bit unstable when you're trying to apprehend them and could shoot up a place.
Or if you just drive by them.
Yeah. But they say not a threat to the public.
Hope not.
John Turskak. Do you know that name?
No.
Turskak? He is the 52-year-old man accused of attacking Derek Chauvin in the law library of a Tucson federal prison. Derek Chauvin, you know who he is?
Yes, we learned again last week.
He is the police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd. And then he was stabbed in prison 22 times on Friday with an improvised knife. So I think it should be a homemade knife, because the prison is that guy's home, The guy who made it.
Instead of improvised.
Yeah. Improvised makes it sound like, hey, hold on, I want to stab you. Anybody got anything? Do I have anything from the audience? Anybody want to make a suggestion of what I could use for a knife here?
Yeah, that is a weird term.
Improvised knife. And stabbed him 22 times, causing serious bodily injury. Now, Tursak, I don't know how you say his name.
How does that not kill someone?
I guess because the knife was so improvised.
Maybe.
Okay, give me something for a knife. Okay, good. I'll take this. It's a paperclip, but okay. And I need an occupation. Okay, proctologist. Good. Turskak is serving a 30-year sentence for crimes committed as a member of the Mexican Mafia prison gang. Wait, then how did he get in prison for that? Because don't you have to be in the Mexican Mafia prison gang first to do crimes for them? So you have to be in prison.
Guess you could still be.
Right.
It's somehow a snake eating its tail here to me.
Right.
It's a really good question.
Oh, thanks, George. I appreciate that. He initially told corrections officers that he would have killed Chauvin had they not intervened so quickly. Always bad to go ahead and speak to authorities.
Right.
Then he later denied to FBI agents that he intended to kill Chauvin. Said he was just trying to help him out. He's been charged with attempted murder, assault with intent to commit murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, and assault resulting in serious bodily injury. Okay. I'm tough on crime. I'm real tough on crime.
You've always been known as that.
But I don't we overcharge in a way for the same crime? It's like, it seems weird that we are allowed to like quadruple dip on the exact same act. It's attempted murder, it's assault with intent to commit murder, it's attempted murder with an assault type related thing, it's also assault with an improvised implement of murder.
I can speak to that since I was pre-law.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah, extremely pre-law.
They will throw a lot of charges just in case a few don't stick. Like they might find them not guilty on this charge, and this charge, but they want to find them guilty on these others, or they hope.
Now, why did he attack Derek Chauvin on Friday?
Because stuff like that happens in lockup. Yo.
Oh, my God.
Don't try to be street.
What?
So prison Mike
you
sounding.
You can't try to be scientific one minute and street the next.
That's the beauty of my broadcasting.
I hate his broadcasting. His broadcasting is the worst part of my broadcast day. No. You would think a lot of people would be motivated to attack Chauvin in prison, right? He's an extremely controversial figure and hated figure in culture. And this guy said that he did it in retaliation for him killing a black man, George Floyd. So that's why he chose Black Friday to do it.
What? No.
I swear to you, that was the reasoning that he gave. Do you think that the corrections officer like, you want to tell him, or do you want me to, or should we just not mention it to him?
Just write it down.
Just write down what he says, and just let's get through this. That's what he said.
I mean, it's the thought that counts.
He said it was, quote, symbolic with the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah, we're about done.
And he said it was also symbolic with the black hand symbol associated with the Mexican Mafia criminal organization. Okay, this is in quotes.
That's their logo?
But I doubt he said this, right?
I don't know.
This makes it sound like he issued a press release. This has got to be just from the charging document. This was what they wrote in the charging document. But yeah. That's kind of incriminating there, but okay. A protester set fire to themselves outside the Israeli consulate in Atlanta. And a Palestinian flag was found at the scene as part of the protest. So they don't consider this terrorism because the person did this to themselves, with what's going on in the Middle East right now, in Israel and Gaza. But setting yourself on fire?
Wow.
I always thought that was one of the creepiest protests you can do. Like when I was a kid, I saw that picture of that monk.
Oh, yeah.
That was on fire, but just sitting there so peacefully.
Yeah.
Yes.
With his Jedi mind powers. And then now someone else
is even more powerful by doing that.
Yeah. They set themselves on fire, then they can, like, help you blow up a Death Star. You know what I'm saying? Though?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
All
right.
The protester is in critical condition with burn injuries to the body. The worst injuries you can have is a burn.
Yes.
And to choose to do that to yourself. Wow. Tesla's Cybertruck is here. And it costs $61,000, which is a bit more than Elon had promised.
Like a pickup truck or like a big old diesel?
$21,000. Yeah, in an odd departure, Tesla is now making diesels. It's a weird thing that they started
Poor
to do now.
choice of word, like an 18-wheeler.
What?
No, they've got those too, but this is their pickup.
Okay.
No, this is that crazy, creepy-looking Mad Max thing that he debuted like in 2019.
Okay.
Remember, and they were showing how it was bulletproof, and they threw a shot put through the window of it, and it broke, and it was like, oh, sorry, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Well, it's bulletproof, not shot
Yeah.
proof.
Yeah. That was on stage with Elon, and it was the head designer who tried to prove the strength of the Cybertruck's windows by throwing a metal ball at it, and the glass shattered. The designer, Franz van Holzhausen.
Well, let's get him on.
That is such a made-up 840 character. But that's the guy's real name. Anyway, so they had this big debut. Finally, we get the Cybertruck many years and many dollars later. And Elon was there at the event in Austin. He was on stage, and he himself did the honors of, I guess, delivering the first one. And there's going to be two other versions of the Cybertruck, an all-wheel drive model that'll be $80,000 and something called the Cyber Beast Premium, which will be $100,000. It'll be available next year. Tesla said that more than 1 million people paid the $100 to reserve one of these things.
Yeah.
So they got $100 million up front just on reservations.
Yeah, they've got a huge list of people who want this, but it's going to take a while. They're making them all in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so we
huge
should
plant there.
We should see them on the roads in Texas before most people see them around the country.
On the base model of the Cybertruck, it gets 250 miles per charge, which is less than the Rivian and the Ford Lightning. But the higher end models, if you go for the $100,000 model, then I think you can tow a lot more and it has a lot more range.
Yeah, they showed one of the videos where it beats a Porsche 911 in a drag race, towing a Porsche 911.
Right. Of course, all those things are a little bit misleading on electric vehicles because that means that you're out of your charge.
Right.
As soon as you drag race and you're towing something, then you have to recharge it in 5 minutes.
Right.
You burn through the battery a lot quicker.
The $61,000 price tag, isn't that what pickup trucks go for?
Oh, yeah.
That's not,
I was
a
gonna
lot
say
more than that.
Cheap for a pickup in a lot of ways.
Let's see. Did you see the Seattle Seahawks player that blasted out a mean tweet? Jamal Adams got mad at Connor Hughes, who is an SNY TV journalist. And Connor Hughes tweeted out Jake Ferguson, Cowboys tight end, beating out Hughes for a touchdown. I mean, beating out Adams for the game-winning touchdown. Mm-hmm. And Hughes captioned the play, yikes. So he just tweeted the play and then tweeted yikes. Well, Jamal Adams then tweets out a picture of Connor Hughes' wife with the caption yikes.
Man.
Goes after the guy's wife. And then finally, we're going to talk more about this at 9:15, but KISS had their final show in Madison Square Garden. And I do believe this is the final show. Mm-hmm. Because they announced what's coming next for KISS. They've gone digital.
I heard about this.
And they had digital avatars And I think they came out, from what I understand, did the digital avatars come out at the end of the... They left the stage to reveal, like on the screen, the digital avatars that did all the motion capture and like a little mini documentary of that they will now tour as digital people on stage. And I do think that has the chance of being something awesome. Because you'll have Gene being able to sprout 30-foot wings and fly. And
yeah.
I mean, you can do all kind of crazy stuff with this. And so now they're transitioning into being holograms to live for forever and to torment your life forever,
we
Giorgio.
Need more Kiss.
Which I think is great. And I don't have birthdays, Pete.
Uh-oh.
I didn't see birthdays.
Stand by.
Oh, he's got them here.
Stand by.
Birthdays today. Jay-Z is 53. Jelly Roll is 38. Cash Nasty, the YouTube star, is 32. Tyra Banks turns 49 today. And Orlando Brown turns 35. Let's see. And that's good. We'll do those for birthdays.
Okay, thanks. That's Muse. But right now, given what happened on the field in Philadelphia yesterday, the Eagles getting trounced by the 49ers, and the whole melee with Dom, the security guard, we thought we would eavesdrop on Philadelphia All Sports Radio. Let's bring in their morning show, the Touchdown Brothers.
And if that's not enough, I've got to read Peter King this morning saying, "Oh, San Francisco clearly the best team." They're not the best team. Can you not look at the standings and see that Philadelphia's 10-2 and the 49ers are 9-3?
That's an outrage.
Who's better?
It's an outrage.
It's a total. I'm so sick of
outrage.
Sick of all these experts, so-called experts that watch the NFL have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
All right, you listen to Jimmy Amendola, Tony Ragu, the Touchdown Brothers. I'd like to thank our guest from last hour. I guess we're going to thank him, Pete DeBoer, who came on. Anthony, why'd you book Pete DeBoer the morning after the Eagles 49ers, and we have to have on the Dallas Stars head coach?
You got a new book out about the Royal. The what?
The what? The
Royal family.
He's got. Why do we care about Pete DeBoer's book about the Royal family?
I don't care about that. Nobody cares. We have the National Football League. We have the Eagles and the 49ers. And we're talking to the Dallas Stars coach.
It's unbelievable. What a horrible... Anthony, you have no excuse for what you did.
You made the worst weekend of the last 5 years worse, Anthony.
I did what I had to do. You shut up. You turn off the mic.
Just turn off
All right,
mic.
Listen. The 49ers may have somewhat technically won that game, but, I mean, at least that's what the NFL wants you to believe about this game.
The NFL wanted them to win. They let them hold on every play.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But is there any doubt in your mind that the Eagles got the moral victory in that game?
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Tony Ragu's cousin, Dom,
That's right.
taught the 49ers a little lesson about respect.
Yeah.
All right? We got to break down what happened between an American patriot like Dom and Dre Greenlaw, who basically plays for Hamas. All right?
What he did yesterday was a terroristic...
Unbelievable.
I don't know how you say it.
Greenlaw assaulted Devontae Smith. And that's what it was. It was an assault. That's a Class C felony.
Yeah, first-degree assault right there.
And then,
that's one.
And then Dom, Tony's cousin, stepped in to defend Devontae.
Said, no,
Who said, not my house.
No.
And Devontae, who's also an American patriot who stands up for what is right.
Right.
And I heard Greenlaw was going after Devontae because Devontae had recently supported a charity that helps underprivileged kids.
About that.
And Greenlaw hates kids and charity.
Yeah, and it went right after him.
So he assaults him.
Yeah.
And then Dom, he steps in.
Don't get emotional, man.
Performing a selfless act.
It's all right, man. It's okay. I know. I was beside myself that... Hey, man, you gotta get a hold of yourself because...
I can't help it. What he did was so inspiring.
I know. He stood up to Greenlaw, and somehow they kicked Dom out of the game.
They kick him out of the game.
The most important guy we got on the sideline, and they kick him out of the game.
He is the Eagles' 12th man.
The guy who has the bravery to wear the Italian flag on his Eagles hat.
And he's wearing the Italian necklace, too.
Crap.
He's representing our country like you wouldn't believe.
I know it. He's got the Italian boot necklace, and I love Dom. I love him like he's my brother.
This is the end of the NFL.
It is.
This is the end
what they
of
want.
it.
They want the 49ers to win it.
When they let a guy like Dom go like this, when he has to leave the game, the NFL will fold.
And they're talking about future suspension with Dom, too?
Unbelievable.
Excuse me? You don't want him a part of the Cowboys game? You don't think Mike McCarthy's scared to death of Dom? Or Micah Parsons? You don't think they're scared of Dom?
Dom is what the NFL is all about.
The internet ought to be .dom, not .com.
Oh, believe me.
Because he's worldwide.
You don't think the NFL is trying to set up a Cowboys victory here? They get rid of Dom right before the big Cowboys game so that the Eagles can't depend on Dom.
Have the sideline undefended.
It's unbelievable. Makes me sick.
I'm sick
of
it.
Let's go to the phones, and we'll start off with... should we go to Charles, who's calling us from Galveston? No, let's go to Sal in South Philly. You're on with the Touchdown Brothers.
Hey, how are you two guys doing this morning?
Not bad, doing okay, despite the loss.
I'm so depressed this morning because my Eagles lost. If I had a job, I'd have called in sick today.
See, that's smart of you not to get the job where you wouldn't have to call in sick.
I even lost a bet, I gave a buddy San Francisco in 28 points because I was so sure we were going to destroy them.
Well, the NFL didn't want it to happen, Sal.
The NFL didn't want it to happen. The thing is, the overlords decided differently.
Only one good thing happens yesterdays in that game. Only one, I tell yous.
What's that, Sal?
That was that my good friend, my buddy Dom, who I went to high schools with at St. Ignatius of Lasagna on the south side.
You went that too? Oh, okay. I didn't know you went
I didn't know you were fighting Pisano, too.
Yeah, we went to St. Ignatius of Lasagna together. My buddy Doms and I, we were really good friends.
Yeah.
And he gets me tickets every once in a while to Eagles games. That's when I gets to go. He puts me up in the nosebleed, but I don't care.
That's okay. He's a giving guy, He's so giving.
That sounds like Dom.
I know.
Nobody's complaining.
No.
But he put St. Ignatius of Lasagnas on the maps yesterday with punching that fool for San Francisco.
Fraud. That's what he is. Sal. He's a fraud.
That's right.
Moment of St. Ignatius of Lasagna histories.
That's right.
And I will say this, I know he doesn't want me telling him this about the stories about him, but whenever we have the high school reunions, you know what he likes to do? He likes to clog up all the toilets.
That's on Dom. That's Dom. That's the guy. That's the guy. That's my cousin. Yeah.
We have got to beat the Cowboys this week, or it's going to ruin my entire...
we're good.
Don't worry about it. They'll beat them.
They got Dak.
The worst quarterback ever to play the game.
Yeah.
You know why I think they're going to beat the Cowboys? Because the Cowboys are still thinking about Dolly and her giant knocker.
Yeah, what a terrible
that was
show
so
that was.
Stupid.
That sucked.
They ain't concentrating on the Eagles. They're not ready for football. They're eating turkey legs and watching Dolly and the giant
Stupid cowboy stuff,
Hey, one question before I go.
What's that, Tom?
Do the Cowboys suck or what?
Oh, sir!
Shut through There we go. We're not tuning out yet, but anyway, coming up next, erotic thriller author Justin Montemayor comes on to tell us about his new book called Jaws in the Case of Missing Brothel Jewelry. Learn how Jaworski saved the damsel in distress with a heart of gold. That's next on the Touchdown Brothers.
Good Lord.
Thank you, Craig. First of all, an apology. I think I messed up birthdays today. I was giving the birthdays 1 year off, so everyone that I said their age, they're 1 year older than that.
Okay.
So go back and add a year.
It was their correct birthday. It was just their ages were incorrect. So I think it's a genius move. I mentioned this at the end of Muse and said I'd talk about it at 9:15 today, and that is that Kiss had their final concert, and this time I think it's real. They've had like 12 final tours.
And y'all keep buying all the tickets.
I know. People buy into it, but I think this time it's for real. This is the first time I saw them. So, saw them when they came to Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. And it was an awesome show. I loved it. One of the best shows I've ever been to. I thought it was incredible. The excess, the over-the-topness, the big snake on the stage that breathed smoke, and then the fire cannon shooting off every which direction with the lasers going crazy. The guys that get up on cranes that go way out over the audience.
Wasn't there blood involved as well?
Oh, yeah. He did his bass solo in which he does it and looks around like he's a hunted animal for a while, and then he starts playing the bass, and as he starts playing and the bass playing gets more intense, he rolls his eyes back in his head and opens his mouth a little bit, and a sheet of red blood just starts pouring down the front of his mouth.
So dumb.
So great.
It was great. It's everything about the world that my mother hated. Right. Is basically you'd find in a Kiss show. So they did their final show at the Madison Square Garden, which that was a band that came from New York, and of course they always drove by the Garden. I think Paul Stanley was a cab driver, and he said always driving by the Garden. It was like, man, we want to play there someday. And of course they did. They get really famous in the 70s, and their first Madison Square Garden show in the 70s was huge for them emotionally and psychologically, because that's the place they dreamed of playing. And that's the place where they end their careers, their live performing careers, at Madison Square Garden. At the end of the show, they unveiled their digital avatars. They've been working behind the scenes in motion capture suits and with the technology companies that handle that, to where they develop their holograms so that they can still tour playing digitally.
That's smart.
And I think it's incredible. It's a smart move, and those digital shows are going to get bigger and bigger, not just with Kiss, but with other bands. And I think that is the way of the future.
So you're a Kiss fan. You've just seen them live. Let's say their avatars come to town in 2 years. You would go, and would you get as much enjoyment out of that show?
I think you could, for the simple reason is they're going to sound great because it'll basically be the tracks.
Yeah.
But it depends on what they do with the digital avatars. If they still have all these great stage effects with fire cannons and lasers, and then they get the avatars where they can float over the crowd, and, you know, the animation can be really cool with having huge wings on these guys, and they fly around, and they get bigger in size up to like 30 feet tall before they shrink back down to sing the song. I mean, you can do all kinds of crazy ass stuff with it.
But isn't part of the concert experience, when you are going crazy over their music or their antics, you're giving them feedback. You're giving another human this feedback. And when Gene Simmons' avatar is flying over you
and looks right at you and sticks his tongue out at you,
are you going to scream?
40-foot tongue.
Are you going to yell and scream as much, knowing that isn't receiving any of your emotion?
No,
Kiss
that
fans,
element.
yeah, they'll yell just as much. They don't care.
No, George, if you'd allow me to answer.
Oh, sorry.
Rather than you jumping in to kick me in the nuts.
Sorry.
Yeah, you lose the human feedback element to it. Like, that was one of the best moments of the Kiss show to me, was when Gene on his construction crane swung out right in front of me.
Right.
And pointed at us. I thought that was great.
Like at the U2 show we went to, when Bono and Kenny Tobin, our buddy, pointed at each other. That was a
recognize one of those names. What?
That was a personal experience for those two. You won't have that with an avatar or hologram. The
CEO of Pop House Entertainment says that this new technology, I guess that's who's working with Kiss, allows them to continue their legacy for eternity.
Wow.
Great.
And that these digital avatars,
at some
right
point
now,
we'll get tired of Kiss. 20 years from now, we're going to get tired of Kiss.
Nobody has yet. Right now, there's a K-pop group that performs alongside their digital avatars. So the quartet is meant to be viewed as an octet with their digital twins. And then there's another girl group called Eternity that's made up entirely of virtual characters. No humans. They just get up there and play. And did the Gorillaz ever do this? Did the Gorillaz ever?
I think
didn't they
did
tour
something like that? Yeah.
I don't know whether they were just.
They don't want to be seen, right?
Well, the Gorillaz is a cartoon band. I mean, they're animated. But I don't know whether when they toured, if it was just video screens that the characters were performing on, or whether they actually had holograms. I can't remember. But Gene Simmons said, "We can be forever young and forever iconic by taking us to places we've never dreamed of before. The technology is going to make Paul jump higher than he's ever done before." So
what a day for humanity this is.
Yeah. So
I think that was sarcastic.
All of that energy and millions of dollars that was poured into Kiss's digital avatars, I want to remind you, was money that was directed away from cancer research. So we have our priorities straight.
Yep.
This from P1 Matt. You know the controversy about sideline reporters making up reports that we had last week or week before? He said, back at the old stadium, I got to go to a Giants-Cowboy game on my dad's work tickets. These tickets were front row at the 50, behind the visitors' bench. A Giants player got hurt and was helped off the field. Pam Oliver never got within 50 feet of the player or the trainer. And when they got back from commercial, Pam gave a report right in front of me. She says, I spoke with the Giants training staff and was told he has an ankle injury and is questionable for return. But I watched her and she never spoke to anyone. Minutes later, she told the Giants trainer from 15 feet away what she reported, and he gave a thumbs up after her report.
I think I can explain that.
Okay.
Sideline is in contact with team PR upstairs. I know this is the way it used to work at Texas Stadium. So maybe they said that to PR, then PR notified the network in her ear, ankle injury, out for the game.
So why didn't you say I spoke to the Giants PR staff?
Doesn't sound
who called down to the field and issued a generic statement.
Doesn't sound as good.
Oh, it doesn't? Mm-hmm. I thought that sounded just as good.
And what she did report, even though she may have made up the part about talking to the Giants PR or trainer, what she said is what everybody knew. Ankle injury, everybody watching could tell that, and questionable to return is always the case when someone goes to the sideline. So it wasn't groundbreaking.
So why do we have sideline reports?
Good question.
It's a really good question. It's kind of adds to the theater of it all. Hey, there's someone who's on the sideline who can tell us this. They could easily notify the guys in the booth, this is what happened, but it's just part of the theater presentation.
I guess the idea also is you're providing more jobs, which is good.
Sure. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Well, why don't they have a different sideline reporter for each report then? That would provide more jobs.
Bingo.
Nearly half of Americans age 18 to 29 are living with their parents.
18 to 29. I believe that.
Yeah.
See, and I have everyone reports these things as if this is apocalyptic and look at how horrible these people never even moving away from their parents and everything. But isn't this a good thing?
I think it is.
I think that there are social benefits to multi-generational families under one roof. That's the way it used to be up until the 50s even.
Yep. That's the way it still is in Europe and a lot of other countries.
And things are so out of whack now with housing. You're right out of high school or you're right out of college and you're trying to afford an apartment in a decent place.
Trying to dig out of student loans.
That's the negative side of it. Now, I don't know whether these 18 to 29-year-olds want to live with their parents or not.
Yeah, they may not.
Right.
I don't know.
But
I bet a lot of it is financially driven.
And I don't know whether the parents want them to live with them. That's the other thing is Maybe some parents don't like it. Like, I think my parents would have loved it if we had stayed living in their house
Absolutely.
for a while.
Well, maybe not you.
Even me, George. Even me.
If he keeps doing these bits, I'm going to lose my mind.
Son, you've tied up the TV for a week and a half now. Is there any way that I can watch my own television set? Let me ask you something. Do you have to watch Mystery Science Theater 24 hours a day? The number of people moving back in with at least one parent spiked in 2020, which was the height of the COVID pandemic. But it edged down last year to 48% from 49.5% when it was at the highest. But yeah. So this Christmas, there'll be a lot of families celebrating together if their child is 18 to 29. How old were you guys when you moved out? Was it for college and then you never came back?
We never really came back. I mean, maybe for the summers. But even then we started going to summer school. That's why we're so well educated.
Right after college, when I worked
well educated
at Britches, measuring men's inseams for a living.
Oh, he loved that. That's the job he sought out.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Mister, you've been down there for a while. What's going on?
Just hold on. I just got to keep measuring. Yeah. Oh God, yes.
Okay, we get the idea.
I lived with my parents then. So that was about a year. And then I moved to Colorado for a year with a buddy. And then when I came back, I lived
with a buddy. That's who you met at Britches, measuring his inseam.
He had the most impressive inseam, so I said, let's move to Colorado.
There's more acceptance there for whatever we'll be involved in.
And then I came back and got a job in radio. And worked, let's see, I probably was with my parents maybe for another 5 or 6 months until I found my own place.
Mm-hmm.
But it was weird. I was 23, 24, somewhere in there. And we were all programmed back then that once you're done with school, you go get a place on your own. So I felt a little bit like a loser.
Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't have.
And I shouldn't have, but I wanted to get out on my own as fast as possible.
What's the best date to put up your Christmas tree? Science has an answer.
December 1st.
This says December 1st is not the best day to put up your Christmas tree, according to experts. And these experts are at Christmas Tree World.
December 26th.
It says traditional Advent begins on the 4th Sunday before Christmas, which means it varies from like November 27th to December 3rd. So it's the 4th Sunday before Christmas.
Was that
this year it falls on December 3rd, yeah.
Okay.
And then when do you take down your Christmas tree? As Craig has mentioned, it has to do with the 12th day of Christmas. But there are some arguments when the 12 days of Christmas begin. See, that's what's so confusing about it. But as long as you take it down around the 5th or 6th of January, you're in the clear.
Yeah, my mom would not let us take down the tree when we were younger until the 12 days of Christmas had passed. So it could be falling apart, no needles on it at all, but we had to leave it up.
So other people say they leave their trees for the that they put up their trees first weekend in December. There's another judge. So it's either December 1st, first weekend of December, or 4 Sundays before Christmas is when you should put it up. And then you take it down after the 12 days of Christmas are over.
Okay.
And then you got to get us.
I usually dread the 5th or 6th of January.
A lot of load in and load out.
A lot of load
associated with Christmas. I was getting down Christmas decorations yesterday and fell. Look how I skinned up my arm and everything.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I fell off the roof. I specifically asked when they put up those shingles if these were dress shoe compliant.
You were up on the roof?
No, this was actually...
Going down the ladder?
This was in a storage shed. And I was teetering up, standing on boxes and everything. I couldn't find the ladder, so climbed up on boxes and had one foot on a shelf, and then with my hand holding myself up to another shelf that was just like a piece of 3/4-inch plywood, and my hand lost the grip, and I fell backwards.
Dang.
Yeah.
Could have been bad.
And I fell down on the ground and everything, and the camera was shot from overhead, looking down at my body, and I just started slowly, maniacally laughing.
Bleeding like a member of Kiss.
Somehow gleeful at my own destruction. And then Andrew says, does anyone remember the fake silver tree with the color wheel? Yeah, my grandmother had one of those back. It was popular like in the 50s.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And she kept one for years. It was like a tinsel tree.
Yeah.
And it had like a light bulb with a color wheel that spun in front of it. And then the light would reflect off of the silver tinsels, the tinsel branches.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool little tree. Pretty cool little tree. Nothing about it looked natural whatsoever.
No.
That was what was great about the 50s. The more artificial looking things were, the better.
But that was the exact same kind of tree that Jesus had.
Indeed it was. Yes.
Indeed.
He made the apostles go out to see if you can find me something like 100-watt incandescent, something that really, really popped the colors.
Well, it's Vladimir Putin.
What?
Huh.
No, it's this is Aramaic, very Aramaic. And
now it's Pope Francis.
Eloi, lama sabachthani. Like, I don't know. The end.
Sports.
All right, thank you. That's the corner.
Get
The Musers.
podcast at patreon.com/sportsgreek.
Once again, The Ticket presents Why Today Doesn't Suck.
Let's go down and talk to John Radigan, who has Colby Lewis with him.
Yeah, we got Colby here. Try to put into words how you're feeling right now, Colby.
It sucks.
And now, here are your hosts, Sean Bass and David Mino.
Sweet spot, Georgia. Special thanks to Georgia and to Evan Grant for talking some Rangers with us today. And at 2:58, it's Ham the Sham.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Mino. Eatsy's Market and Bakery and Sante Center for Healing brings you Stolen Valor Monty.
Thank you, Ham. Look, bros, who didn't think Georgia was going to get in? You know?
Georgia!
It's six.
It's six.
We say hello to the hard line. Corby.
Welcome back.
What are you
Good
eating?
job last week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Granola. Lando gave me some granola.
Stole Lando's granola.
Yeah.
He's got a fake turd in his pocket.
You had to give me that granola.
That's all Lando
Bitch.
has in the whole world. And you took it from him.
Yeah.
I know.
What would you do if he stole your Monkey Wrench album?
The color and the shape.
Yeah, right. The only thing I care about is my color and the shape record.
You'd be devastated. Well, we also have Dave and Bob.
Babe.
The hard line, they're here.
Of bunkers.
Oh, yeah, you have bonkers tomorrow, Bob. 2:15, 2:30.
Oh, man.
One of the two.
Bob.
2 o'clock hour.
Monty's on it.
It's vacation.
Actually, we'll take the whole hour, Bob.
We'll be coming in hot.
Well, today is Monday, December 4th, the 338th day of 2023.
Who's hot?
Only 27 days left in the year. On this date in 1619, 38 colonists from Berkeley Parish, England, disembark in Virginia and give thanks to God, considered by many to be the first Thanksgiving in the Americas.
They have jelly beans.
So why did he get moved back to November? What's the deal with that?
Lincoln.
Football.
Yeah. Oh, freaking Lincoln.
For the TV.
The parade.
Why and when do we go with parish over
Church?
Just
It's
county?
a Catholic thing.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's what I keep hearing with my kids. Like, what parish is that? It's Catholic.
Okay, but when Louisiana is basically calling towns parishes,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
Well, they're not even really Americans.
That's their version of county, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A parish is a county and a church?
Well, not there, just a county.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be like Parents Parish.
Yeah.
Line 4 guy, what were you trying to offer?
I said the reason they went with Parrish is Walton had a bad foot.
Oh, a Robert Parrish joke. I like it a lot. Big Chief.
On this date in 1920, we had the first pro football playoff game as Buffalo won a barn burner against Canton 7-3 at Polo Grounds.
Almost as exciting as Patriots Chargers.
Well, they played.
They still have First Monday.
They made him play like a neutral field?
Yeah.
That was a
You want to get a
scoregami.
true outcome. No one home field deciding that thing.
You would have liked it since it was at the Polo Grounds, Snake.
Yeah.
No.
I forgot about my proclivity for polo.
Hey, do you think we could get some pickleball in here when polo's done?
Hey, guys. Fit like 20 pickleball courts in here, dudes.
This is like pickleball on horses.
Could be a pickleball complex.
Hello.
What do you call pickleball on horseback?
Yeah, man. Then you put a cup holder on the horse. It's awesome, man. Put your beer in there.
Just bring your horse.
Cheese fries.
Put your cheese fries right on the back.
Right on the saddlebag of the horse. Polo Grounds is a beating, though. Like, the left and right field seats, you're looking at each other. Not
And dead center's
home.
like 550
Yeah.
feet.
We need more games there now.
Need to bring that back.
That's where they used to have the cow in center field.
in deep center. On this date in 1961, Syracuse running back Ernie Davis becomes the first black man to be taken number 1 in the NFL draft.
Cleveland.
Did it work out?
I think he died pretty soon after that. So, yeah.
From what?
How did Ernie Davis die?
Well, I'm
Leukemia,
trying to
right?
think now.
How did Car crash?
No, he had some kind of disease.
Yeah.
He had leukemia.
He had Ernie Davis eyes.
Mumps and mono
Sucks.
was initially
Really does.
speculated.
Mumps and mono.
That was the
I don't even know what they
speculation.
ruled out.
I saw them at the Granada last night.
Diagnosed with
They're really good.
leukemia.
That's a good Ben and Jerry's
Those are
flavor.
the kissing mumps.
So leukemia got him.
Yeah, can I get mumps and mono and a sugar cone, please?
On this date in 1980, several months after the death of drummer John Bonham, British rock band Led Zeppelin announced it was officially disbanding. Is that a big moment?
Unbanding.
They were unbanding.
Would imagine that was a big moment. Don't remember
They
it.
were a band. Now they're an unband.
First
Greta
the
Van
Beatles?
Fleet would never do that.
You didn't
No,
act
no.
up in 4th grade that day?
I know I was aware of them, but no, I don't think so.
Corbett,
Robert
back to
Plant
your
would be
desk.
better off,
Shut
Corby?
up.
No, bitch!
We'll get Page and Plant one day. Don't worry, young man.
Right.
Like I said, luckily we got GVF. Greta Van Fleet. In 1997, the NBA suspends Latrell Sprewell for a year after attacking coach PJ Carlesimo. During practice, Sprewell had a verbal confrontation with Carlesimo when the coach told him to put a little mustard on his pants.
PJ was asking for it.
Boy,
Yeah.
the callers handled that really well, that incident.
You got to go choke a coach out if he says that.
I mean, PJ did have a punchable face.
He did. Sports radio callers in 1997 were ready to...
Is he dead?
No.
Latrell?
PJ?
But did he have a
Dylan Hawk.
chokeable neck? That's the question.
Born in Scranton.
Really?
This was only a couple weeks after the AC Green Iron Man game.
That's true.
It was a weird time
Right
for
after my first
basketball.
Mavs game.
The end of the NBA spectrum.
We still haven't found the banner, have we?
Literally,
I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
according to the
It's in a
owner, it
warehouse.
doesn't exist.
I have some
Bottom.
leads.
Right
I'm
after
gonna
you
find
asked
this.
Well,
him
he's
that,
gonna-
Corby, he
as-
sold the team.
As part of the sale, they're going to have to account for everything.
Right.
So maybe they'll find it.
Yeah, at
yeah.
signing,
Yeah, I want-
the
maybe-
banner has to be handed over.
Miriam will hang it up
Yeah, Miriam Adelson is
At
wondering
the,
where the AC
that's what she
Green.
bought
at the
it
new
for.
casino arena.
She wanted the AC Green banner. Paid $3.5 bill for it.
Nothing wrong with Miriam.
In 2009, the New Jersey Nets won for the first time that year, ending the worst start in NBA history. They started out 0-18. Luckily, they got
And
to
the
play
72
Charlotte
Dolphins
Bobcats.
pop champagne.
In 2012, a Category 5 typhoon nicknamed Pablo struck the Philippines, killing over 1,000 people.
What you
Go ahead and raise up.
when she says goodbye.
I would never make a joke about a typhoon killing a bunch of
Pablo, honey?
I just made a Petey Pablo joke.
Yeah, I know.
North Carolina.
Dave made a Radiohead
Yeah.
joke.
Gonna do when she is
Go,
gone.
Dave. That's a Jerky Boys joke before it was a.
Oh, okay.
joke. Was it really?
And in 2016, a North Carolina man armed with a rifle fired several shots inside Comet Ping Pong, a Washington, D.C. pizzeria, as he attempted to investigate an online conspiracy theory that prominent Democrats were harboring child sex slaves at the restaurant.
In the basement, Libs.
Would Corby care more if it was pickleball?
Yes.
Libs.
They had
if they were harboring
secret
pickleball?
pedophile pickleball
not
games.
Not a ping pong place, but a pickleball.
If pickleballers were harboring kids.
Yeah.
You know me, I love pickleball.
Man, I'll turn a blind eye for a lot.
Pickleball.
All right,
kids.
birthdays today. This is
Put
from
the kid
Friday.
down. We're about to play.
God.
Jeez.
Feed the kids some pizza. We got to play pickleball.
I'm back up. All right, hi, Corby. I heard Monty was out, so I wanted to get my brother-in-law a shout-out for his birthday. It's Benjamin Carpenter. He's a big P1, and he loves math.
Oh,
math.
I hope he gets laid on his 43rd birthday. Love you, bro. Here's a picture of his dog. He sent you a picture of his dog, and you didn't read it.
Does he love math or meth?
No, it's math.
Math? Okay.
Yeah.
Ben's a good P1.
How big is his forehead? It might tell us.
I do like dogs.
Dag.
When people send photos of their dogs.
But not enough to read
I'll
them,
always
apparently.
look. I'll always pet your dog, and I'll look at your dog picture.
Sorry, Ben.
Also,
Had a rubber band stapled to his face.
big one here. Dear Monty, happy 50th birthday to me, Hakeem in Frisco, celebrating in Napa, California. Leaders are old school hip hop, Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, quality bourbon, wine, and cigars, and of course, the Dallas Cowboys. Favorite drop, the full Puff Daddy drop. Thanks from Hakeem in Frisco.
Hakeem!
Quality bourbon put him out one post game.
Totally out.
That's an awesome moment. Just falling asleep in the middle of the post game show.
It's dedication.
Do you feel like that day you were bringing it, Corby?
Oh, yeah.
When he fell asleep?
Yeah. We were that good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That.
Man, just like if I had one good HSO, it might have kept him awake.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you could hear him breathing, so you know he wasn't dead.
Right.
At least there's that.
All right.
At least they filled the phone lines.
To continue some some bits from last week. In 2012, The Dark Knight Rises came out on Blu-ray and DVD.
Ham.
Come on, Ham.
And we'll also play Guess Which Birthday Was Ham's. But 74, Jeff Bridges. He's the dude.
No.
The old man. What a great show.
I thought it fell off. Didn't people say it got bad?
I dug it all the way through. Thought it was great. Can't wait for season 2.
When he's even...
That's just like your opinion, man.
It is.
He was quoting the dude.
Yeah.
Was this on ESPN or NBA TV? What was this on?
No.
Shut up.
Hulu. FX.
Maybe's in that.
She is.
Is the White Russian a good drink?
It really is.
Okay.
Every time somebody has a rug urinated on this town, they blame me.
Tony Todd, actor, 69. He was in The Rock and Candyman. Marissa Tomei, 59.
Oh, yeah.
That is a good 59
The
right
wrestler.
there. Daddy is right about that one.
If my dad says it's okay, I'm going to take her home.
Did she show Pepperoni in The Wrestler?
Yep.
She did? She got naked?
Let's see. Melissa Tomei Pepperoni.
Marissa
Tomei Pepperoni.
She had like a body stocking on. You could see him.
Yeah, I like her.
Does that count?
I think so.
Hell yeah.
Did she win Best Supporting Actress for My Cousin Vinny?
Yes.
She did.
Yeah.
And wasn't there controversy that she actually didn't win it? That they called the wrong name?
Yeah, it was actually La La Land.
I got that.
Thank you. Turning 57 today, Fred Armisen.
The great Fred Armisen.
Comedian and drummer.
And, yes, the old 97's drummer. Filled in for him one time.
Is that right?
That's right.
That's great.
He damn sure did.
Stepped in for Phil.
Look up the video. Yeah, Phil fell.
Yeah.
Phil fell?
Phil Fell.
You got a Fell, Phil?
It's Phil Fell.
That sounds like a Fred Armisen character name.
Yeah, Phil Fell.
Just fell over and got up and started
54
drumming.
today, Jay-Z. He's a rapper. Billionaire? Almost billionaire?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
His family has a lot of money, too.
How old?
He married
54.
well.
He did. Him and Bay once. Tyra Banks is 50.
Okay.
The model and actress.
What was the TV show she hosted?
Gorgeous.
Project Runway?
Yeah, that's it.
America's Next
I just remember
Project
being it
Runway.
on at some point in my house.
America's Next Runway. And the Tyra Banks Show.
42, Raphael
America's Next
Albuquerque, a comic book artist
Oh
for
my
Batman.
God.
Raphael Albuquerque. Turning
Fell out of
39
my
today.
chair.
A man that we could have saw in the Cumulus Cafe just a couple of years
I mean,
ago.
He's no
Jelly
Jack
Roll.
Kirby. Come on, Ham.
That guy performed 2 feet away from a nutty bar.
I don't remember that at all.
Who are you talking about?
Jelly Roll.
Oh, cool.
So he was just...
He was
In
next
the-
to like a Dickie's barbecue spread in
Is
there.
he the guy that rode the
He's
elevator up and snuck in and stole all the stuff out of the
Is that
Cumulus
him?
Cafe?
We got all those emails.
Yeah, the guy that I was in there
Like
with.
Corby was just giving him food.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
hey,
here, take it.
this.
Yeah,
This is
I don't
awesome.
care.
What's a
I thought he was
Play
restocking.
pickleball?
You look like you like food.
You
Did you
deserve
help
it,
throw
bro.
that in your pillowcase?
Where are your shoes? He didn't have any shoes.
Here, bro, take mine.
What do you mean by I
Don't
thought
need
he was
shoes.
restocking?
Use these.
He
honey
had
buns
so
as
much
shoes.
food in his
thought he was
arms.
putting it on the
I didn't
shelf.
know that he
He
was
was the
taking
guy-
them down. I thought he was putting it up.
Now, you're not supposed to
Like,
smoke
he works for the
cigarettes in here, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, most dudes that do that smell like ass and
So you
don't
thought
have
he
shoes
was
on.
restocking with clothes that were in his hoodie.
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
the sleeves
Guys,
tied
They
and
don't
his
make
honey
dress like a
buns
vagabond.
jammed
Yeah.
in there.
Those vendor guys, they can live dicey
They
life.
got
And
no
I was
sense of
remember I was
style.
whistling Zach Bryan's "Open the Gate" and just kind of casually doing it as I walked in and looked at him. He turned around and like perfectly mimicked me. I was like, "Oh yeah, ZB fan too, huh, bro?"
Yeah, you only got 11 bags of
Jelly
Funnies.
Roll's probably toured with him.
Probably.
Yeah. Turning 38, Ronnie from Jersey Shore.
Just make sure you restock the Zagnut.
Ronnie?
There's no Zag nuts in there. Orlando Brown, 36. Also,
Zeus.
Jin from BTS is 31.
Wait. Orlando Brown is not 36.
That's right.
You wanna
He's
bet?
not. He's either
Orlando
I'm
Brown
not talking
Jr.
about the
is.
OU guy. It's not all about OU, Corby.
Well, who's
I'm
this
talking
one?
about the actor.
Is that Orlando Bloom?
No, this is Orlando Brown.
Oh, he was in That's So Raven.
Yeah.
Is it Orlando Woolridge?
He's in Major Pain.
He was
Yeah, he
in
was the little
Major
kid. He
Pain.
was Tiger.
Okay, I remember that kid.
Brown Bloom.
Apologize to the other Orlando.
Sorry.
His dad,
Is it Phil Fell?
who was blinded by a referee's flag. Remember
Sports
that?
birthdays: Lee Smith, 66. Bernard King, 67.
The great Bernard King. That man could score. Great turnaround. He and Aguirre.
How many did he get on Christmas that day? 60?
50.
Who would get more minutes on the Mavs, him or AJ Lawson, right now?
Bernard King in his prime.
Okay. Frank Reich, 62.
R.I.P.
Blake
Wasn't he
Snell,
the third
31.
one?
Jackson Holiday, 20. Did y'all see the Holiday family's home run derby?
Metal bats.
Pretty sweet. More on the Say Now Dead, we have
They have
Gary
metal
Rossington, the guitarist
Oh,
of
Leonard Skinner.
The day the music died.
Man, Leonard had to be really upset when he died. Dennis Wilson, the drummer for the Beach Boys.
3.
And Crazy Horse. He's a Sioux chief. And dead on the stay still dead, Frank Zappa.
Line 4 guy?
Oh, I love Frank Zappa, dude.
Nobody loves Frank Zappa.
I regret to inform you, Line 4
No
guy.
one understands Fred Zappa.
It was 60 on Christmas, 1984.
Let's go.
Oh.
And you're done.
You've been exterminated.
12-year-old Bob was locked in.
Moon Unit was pretty hot, though.
Yeah.
Bye, Justin.
Bye, David.
Broadcasting live from the TXU.
Thank you, Ham. Here's Dave.
Well, the weekend box office. This is notoriously a down weekend between Thanksgiving and the beginning of the holiday season.
Right.
But this was a big weekend for Beyonce, as Renaissance, a film by Beyonce, won the box office weekend with a tally of $21 million. And that is the first time that a film has opened with more than $20 million on that particular weekend since 2003. The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise made $20 million that weekend.
Barely remember that movie.
Don't remember it at all.
Still need to see it.
Was he like Chinese?
I think he was a white dude that was better than all the Chinese guys at sword stuff.
Yeah.
Second place was the Hunger Games prequel. Another $14.5 million in its third week, so they have a domestic total of $121.1 million now. And new this past weekend was Godzilla -1.
Yeah, we talked about that on Friday.
Yeah, it's the Japanese Godzilla movie. So it's separate from the Legendary Pictures Monsterverse, which has the Godzilla series on Apple Plus right now, and they just dropped a trailer for Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire.
Yeah, I watched it over the weekend.
Yeah,
Not the movie. I watched the trailer.
The trailer, the trailer. You get to see. It's like at the end, it's like a buddy cop movie where you see Kong and Godzilla running towards the camera in full sprint.
Yeah, and there are like little Kongs now, like
there's a baby Kong,
tiny Kongs that are also part of his world. So he's having sex with someone.
Yeah,
good for him for finding love finally after all these years.
Would you watch Kong porn?
I probably would not, Dave. Probably would. Maybe for a minute,
just to see. Just want to see how it works.
I watched the trailer for Godzilla -1 Ham.
Went and saw it.
You did? Okay,
yeah.
He said he was going to do it. Is it as good as it's 98%, Dave, on Rotten Tomatoes?
It's very good.
Yeah, I've read everything about it. The trailer looks incredible. $15 million to make this thing, and from the trailer, you can speak further to the movie. The trailer looks like it costs $100 million.
Yeah, they did really well.
So it's not a guy in a suit?
No.
But there's a lot of human elements to it as well.
Yeah, it's very human-driven.
Yeah.
And then
it's
just
set
kind of
in
there.
Japan? Is it
it's right after,
period piece?
It's right after or at the end of World War II.
Okay.
And yeah,
so it's kind of a -1. It's a return to the roots of the story.
Yeah.
Right? It's like their first encounter with Godzilla and just all the hijinks that ensues.
And it's about a kamikaze pilot who chickens out at the last second to kamikaze his death. And
one of the coolest words we've ever come up with, by the way.
Yeah. But then
no disrespect.
I guess he's guilt-driven to the fact that
all these people are dead because he didn't kamikaze.
Yes.
He was supposed to kamikaze into Godzilla's mouth.
He would have... No, but...
Whoa.
The kamikaze would have set off things in motion that would have taken out Godzilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm interested.
Dude, I can't believe it's 98%.
I'm watching the Apple Plus show, and it's good. It has Kurt Russell and Kurt Russell's son playing the same character.
Is that Oliver?
Like 60 years apart. They're not 60 yards apart the whole time.
60 yards apart.
60 years apart.
Don't come closer.
I have a restraining order. The Marvels, by the way, is officially the lowest grossing Marvel movie ever. $80 million in North America, $197 million globally. Disney it's still in theaters. It'll probably be in theaters until January, but Disney is officially pulling the plug. They wrote a note to the press on Sunday that they'll stop weekend reporting of international and global grosses on the Marvels title.
I won't watch 1 minute of this.
So they know it's a failure.
Poor Brie Larson.
It's poor, hot, skinny, tiny, wasted Brie Larson.
She needs to eat more.
She's a smaller waist than Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
They should trade pants.
That'd be weird. She's only like 4'8".
Is she really?
No, I think she's 5'2" or 3. Though.
What do you think her waist is?
23?
Yeah, I was going to say 22, 23.
Bigger or smaller than Ham's waist?
Ooh,
Ham's a 27, right?
28 now, son.
Whoa!
Attaboy.
It's growing.
Yeah,
Them
there's
tendies.
Bree's.
Tendy's six-pack underneath those jeans.
Bree's tiny waist is way smaller than Ham's.
So on Friday, a legendary motion picture actor finally received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Macaulay Culkin. So he was inducted in part by Catherine O'Hara of Schitt's Creek, also played his mom in the Home Alone movies. And so she said in her comments that Home Alone was, is, and always will be a beloved global sensation. And the reason families all over the world can't let a year go by without watching and loving Home Alone together is because of Macaulay Culkin. You brought a sense of sweet, yet twisted, yet totally relatable sense of humor to everything you've chosen to do. And she says, thank you for including your fake mom that left you home alone not once but twice to share in this happy occasion.
Can you imagine the mom guilt of leaving Kevin twice? Not once, but twice.
Yeah.
Like, who does that?
Right.
Like a drunkard does that.
Right. And so he gave a little bit of a speech. He's looking a little wheels off. I mean, he looks good, but he looks a
I
little...
saw this. He looks like Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. He just
what
looks...
is he, 45?
Looks a little sleepy-eyed. I don't know, but
he's mid-40s, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're used to seeing Kieran now in succession, so seeing Kevin is... or Macaulay is a little weird. I always think of him as Kevin, but he quoted Kevin here at the end of his speech.
On most of the times,
on the ticket,
it's going to be played in
your
car through the speaker, and
so yeah, to wrap things up, and in the spirit of the holiday season, I just want to say, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
There you go. He sounds like Kieran.
Yeah, he does. I mean,
43.
You definitely see the resemblance.
1980.
Okay, I mentioned an age-old debate possibly settled. I don't know how you're going to feel about this. But it's been 35 years. It was actually released in July of 1988, but Die Hard came out 35 years ago.
Christmas movie.
And is it a Christmas movie? It's always been a topic of debate. And so this article, they say there's 2 litmus tests to determining if it's a Christmas movie. Number 1, does watching the film at any other time of year feel weird? If the answer is no, then it's not a Christmas movie. So does it feel weird to watch Die Hard in the summertime?
Not at all.
No.
If you take Christmas out of the movie, does it still make sense? If the answer is yes, then it's not a Christmas movie.
100%.
You don't need Christmas in Die Hard.
You don't.
The only reason it is Christmas is because wasn't he flying home to see her? Or
I believe,
because of
and
Christmas?
also wasn't that a Christmas party at
Nakatomi
Plaza?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it does take place on Christmas Eve.
But you could have an office party and not just a Christmas party.
And who was the limo driver?
Argyle.
I believe, was celebrating Christmas in some way.
There are 3 Christmas songs on the soundtrack. There are at least 21 Christmas
Run
references in the movie. Yes, Christmas in Hollis is one of them.
Let it snow.
But yeah, there's a Yahoo YouGov poll, and 50% of respondents say Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. 26% say it is. 23% say, huh?
Was that Bruce Willis that said that?
Bro.
Jeez.
That's a tough one, pal.
We're all in the trust tree.
Apologize.
I do apologize.
34% people...
We're all headed there, Bruce. Don't worry.
34% of people say they regularly rewatch Home Alone every Christmas season.
I just saw it the other day. Popped it on for like 10 minutes.
33% say they revisit A Christmas Story every Christmas season.
Never do that.
Only 14% say they watch Die Hard at Christmas. Only 14%
so
make
not
that
a Christmas
part of their
movie.
tradition. However, AMC is re-releasing it in theaters December 8th, so this coming weekend. So if you want to pretend it's a Christmas movie, you have that right. And lastly...
Was Home Alone 2 based around Christmas?
Yeah. It's the one in New York with Trump.
It's kind of like the whole bit of Home Alone.
But yeah, the Plaza Hotel is all decorated for
with
Christmas
that mean
and everything.
bellman that doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, yeah.
So we don't have time to fully dive into this. Maybe we can get into it more tomorrow. But Kiss had their final performance at MSG to close their end of the road tour.
That's
the
too
tour
bad.
that came through Dickies Arena maybe a month ago.
Gordon went.
Yes. And so they played Rock and Roll All Night as their final song of the night. And then Paul Stanley said, "The end of this road is the beginning of another road." And there was a bunch of fire. They left the stage. And then their song, "God Gave Rock and Roll to You," began to play. And then digital avatars of the Demon, the Star Child, the Catman, and the Spaceman appeared on stage.
Never saw Avatar.
They're used a combination of LED screens, lasers, and smoke and pyrotechnics to create these dimensional figures. And the message on the screen was "A new era begins." So Industrial Light and Magic helped them create Virtual Kiss. And then Pop House Entertainment, which is the company that did the ABBA Voyage hologram show, is now in charge of booking and touring Digital Kiss.
What about Digital Mini Kiss?
I think you can still book Mini Kiss.
Oh.
No problem.
We should.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
they should get an automatic invitation.
The era
to a ticket event.
of hologram Kiss has begun.
Them and who did Chocolate Rain?
Oh,
Tay. Why do all of us remember his name?
I don't know. I do not know because it's such a dumb name. What? No offense to you or Bruce Willis. All right. Thank you very much, David.